This is Monty, aka Tom Barbley, here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I was talking to a friend this morning about Warhammer the Old World and the content that I'm producing currently, just indicating some background to my particular interests in that and what it might look like. And something that's starting to worry me, which I'm not actually being talked about, is I don't know how large the community is of people that have existing fantasy armies. I obviously represent that and show videos accordingly. And what I'm finding very interesting is we're already dealing with a somewhat confined space that Games Workshop is offering us, with the view that of the miniatures we may have, maybe hopefully 80 to 90% of them will still be useful. But realistically, potentially, 50 to 60% of them could be useful. And that's the thing that's concerning me currently. I joke with my friend that the Dragon Ogre for Chaos and blowpipes or crossbows for the greenskins were the two kind of boundary things which will define the nature of the armies that I field very greatly. So I'm not really sure what direction this thing will take, but I wanted to record a video just to say that if we end up with really reduced cheats, which we might end up with for the armies, then it's going to be a very interesting problem to see what I actually field based on that. I think the dwarves is a good option with regards to just having at least some degree of diversity with the stuff that I've shown. Chaos will be very interesting, and I'm interested to see how limited they make it, whether they make it only one god, these kind of things, how they actually frame that. And certainly the chaos I have leans at least on the Rochi side to Slanesh, but the stuff on my side is mainly Nurgle, and I'm yet to find a good magic casting chaos entity to include. I think I'll go back through probably my Lars stuff and maybe other miniature painters that I've used. I would ideally like a Rochi Roch, but I did have a Nurgle wizard somewhere in there, but I couldn't find him. So potential maybe for a Rochi figure, potential maybe for another figure painter, which I don't think will be too stylistically difficult or different, because I'm looking for just basically something multicolored in terms of the Chaos Wizard, and just something that looks unique and stands out. Becomes an immediate first target, let's put it that way. So, as someone who's contemplating what I need to buy in order to do this thing, obviously the main rule book will be one of them. My thought was to get the paperback versions of the various factions, because I have 4 of the factions, too good, too evil, that I'm looking at currently. The emission of Skaven and Undead really kind of caused me to draw breath associated with what this thing might look like. Maybe they'll come in the future, but I think the jokes associated with Cast Dwarves and PDFs and this kind of stuff just kind of irk me. It just seems to be, well, maybe it's a suck and see. Maybe it's a situation where GW will just assess what happens with it and then potentially release more army books to fill a variety of additional factions that they haven't even discussed doing as yet. But as the initial factions that they've discussed, I've shown on this channel Wood Elves, I've shown on this channel obviously Dwarves, and Chaos, and Greenskins. So I have 2 good, 2 evil currently in the factions, and of that, I'm a little bit suspicious that maybe I'll only be able to field 60% of what I have, which would be a bit disappointing. My hope is 80 to 90%. I mean, the nature of these things, particularly with limited information given out, is that you always assume ideally it's going to be amazing and it's going to contain a wide variety, like Dragon Ogre, for example, which I think has persisted in some form, but it's not the same critter, I don't think, as the one that I have. But you can make rules like and this kind of stuff. I think what's going to be really interesting is how the game is actually played. And I've certainly talked locally to folks in Las Vegas, and have a small cadre of folks who will be digging out their own particular armies, although a couple have mentioned that they have Skaven. So maybe, well, we don't know what the thing will look like when it's actually released, which is the nature of what the lack of information as opposed to the information that's been released so far, is daunting, let's just say. Anyway, so Monty here in the Bay, not in the Bay Area anymore, Monty here in Las Vegas, Nevada, looking at a bunch of armies. If you enjoy the videos, please subscribe, please like, please do all the stuff that I probably should actually say on the videos every time I do a recording. But I think I might do a little bit of an expose more on the chaos once I actually have the magic user found in my pile of lead. And I think it'll be an interesting character to set off the the whole thing. Obviously, the lone knight and these kind of things are. It's an army that's full of character, but I don't want to lose some of that in adding a bunch of my own stuff to what originally was Rochi's army. Well, that's why I've included Rochi's painted figures as being part of the army. Anyway, Tom Dudley, aka Monty, in Las Vegas, Nevada, signing out. Oh, if you like these face-to-camera videos, please let me know as well in the comments, and I'll consider doing more of them. Anyway, me signing out.